King Charles and Queen Camilla are set to touch down in Canada later today for their first visit since the coronation almost 2 years ago.
All right, royal watchers calling this a pivotal moment as Charles will open Parliament amid Donald Trump's 51st state rhetoric. Our royal expert Patricia Treble in Ottawa for us this morning and joins us now for more. Patricia, good morning to you. And first off, can you put this visit into perspective for us? Just how big, just how significant is this?
Yeah, I mean, the time that they're actually in Canada does not really comport to the significance. They're here for less than 24 hours. I think it's probably the most significant visit since the very first by a monarch, and that was on the eve of the Second World War. And that's because the threat is exactly the same then as it is now. It's existential to our future. So what you're going to hear a lot about is you're going to hear a lot about Canada's sovereignty. The King is obviously the embodiment of our sovereignty. You're going to hear a lot about resilience, strength. Basically, the national anthem is going to be poured into the next 2 days. And I think it is resonating. I mean, we've seen polling that shows Canadians are really paying attention. And certainly the media coverage from around the world has been intense. And it is echoing exactly what the message we want to convey by this visit, which is that Canada is a sovereign, independent country, and we are going to stay that way.
Okay, Patricia, as you know, the King will open Parliament tomorrow. You're suggesting some of the comments that will be made. Do we know specifically what he will include? Do we expect him to address Donald Trump's 51st state threats directly?
So we haven't seen yet a copy of the throne speech. It's obviously embargoed. And when we do, I think everything's going to be elliptical. This is very much the government's speech. They're laying out their ambitions for the next 4 years. We're going to hear a lot about defense. I think we're going to hear a lot about strengthening Canada's internal trade and things like that. But these are not going to be the King's words. Now, because the King is not actually giving a speech of his own, it's such a fast trip. The question is going to be whether there's going to be an opportunity for the King to put his own words at maybe the beginning and the end of the throne speech. King is a very good wordsmith. He is a very good diplomat. I wouldn't be surprised if we did see something like that. I don't think we're going to hear Donald Trump's name. I think everything is inferred, everything is going to be suggested, but I think it's going to be a very strong Canada first message.
All right, as you well know, Patricia, Charles and Camilla, they're due there in Ottawa early this afternoon. It's a short 2-day visit, but maybe go over some of the expected highlights for us if you could.
So, I mean, I'm going to say for people, they're going to have to get up a bit early. So the touchdown happens, Calgary time at a little before 11 o'clock. And then after the ceremonies, they plunge right into the first events. And it's going to be this really informal event at Lansdowne Park here in Ottawa. And the one thing I'm waiting for, and I know everyone is going to be waiting for it, is the King is going to drop a ball at a street hockey tournament. So that is definitely going to be echoes of the late Queen, of course, who dropped a puck at the Canucks game in 2002, and it became one of those iconic shots. And then you've got the ceremonies at Rideau Hall and things like that. But really, the focus is going to be tomorrow. It's again, early. Everything starts before 8 o'clock Calgary time. Get up early, set your alarm. And there's going to be a big ceremonial procession. They're going to be in the state landau, going to the Senate, obviously speech for the throne. And then they walk, which is quite unusual because the distances are quite close. They're going to walk to the cenotaph, have honors there, and then they leave. So those few events, that's what I'm really looking forward to.
Patricia, what are we thinking the crowds to be? And I'm also kind of wondering how the city is preparing for this visit.
Yeah, I was out yesterday and I was out this morning. I'm going to say the security fencing is already starting to go up. The crews were out cutting and weed whacking behind the cenotaph this morning, so making sure everything is perfect. I think there's going to be a lot of crowds. There are a lot of opportunities to actually see them in bits and parts over these 2 days. The big opportunity is going to be, as I said, that ceremonial procession to the Senate tomorrow. And I've even heard, I've got 2 friends who normally wouldn't go to see the King, but they want to get up tomorrow morning. They want to stand first thing in the morning because they said it sends a signal. So I think we're going to be seeing a lot of crowds out there.
Okay, and only 10 seconds, but are we going to see a brooch? Do we know?
We are absolutely. absolutely going to see a brooch. It's going to be definitely a maple leaf brooch. Maybe day 1, day 2, both days, definitely going to see it.
All right, you heard it here first on TMS. Our Royal Insider, Patricia Treble. Patricia, thanks for this. Good to see you this morning.
Thank you.